The Friends with Adam Sandler effect.
It's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And if you happen to befriend Adam Sandler between 1984 and 1994, you would likely have a multi-billion-dollar box office resume. In this 10-year stretch, Adam basically met everyone he would end up working closely with on film.
Who did dude right here? Who did dude on the left side right there?
10-year stretch, Adam basically met everyone he would end up working closely with on films for the rest of his 30-year career.
I would never call you that.
This group helped Sandler dominate Hollywood, whether they were writing, producing, directing, or sharing the screen with him. You could argue that Adam Sandler does not like making new friends. The only people added to the Sandlerverse in the 2000s were Nick Swardson and Kevin James. And yeah, Adam is definitely a good guy.
Bro, Adam Sandler literally, like, put on all his friends, bro. Just a real... Hey, if there's any example of, like, a real, like... Yeah, it's Adam Sandler,
helping his buddies 100%. Stay employed all these years, but he also needs them more than you realize. Comedy and cinema fans have been debating on whether or not Adam Sandler is funny since the 80s. However, even he knew he wasn't that funny, which is why he carefully crafted an army of yes men who were great at making Adam Sandler films, but wouldn't find much success without him. The real reason why Adam exploded into superstardom is actually more mysterious than you'd think. Today we are going to take a closer look into the Sandler squad who helped him build a Hollywood mediocre movie machine. That machine would lead to one of the most debated legacies of all time.
What keeps you in the game? It seems
almost... Oh, man, I was so crazy when I was young. I just thought, like, yeah, I'm going to be huge. I'm some psychotic.
Delusion. The dream of becoming a Hollywood star is often shut down by the people around you. They will call you crazy. You're never going to make it, they'd say. Adam was delusional, but that's exactly what you need to be to succeed. From the moment he decided to be a comedian at age 17...
How delusional y'all, chat? Posture check? Alright. My posture's pretty good right now. Shit. Okay. Alright, we're within that, Just. Okay. We gon' alright, we gon' okay. Okay, we're good. Bro, why does my camera look... Am I blurry? This nigga say Roblox posture.
He convinced as many people as he could to believe in his delusional dream. Adam arrived at New York University's Tisch School of the Arts in 1984, where he would be surrounded by thousands of other students pursuing artistic careers.
Is that the most recent graduation class? 2023? Type shit. So we need to find her at, bruh. If you know, you know, bruh.
His roommate, Tim Herlihy...
I had a premonition that my wife was going to be Asian, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So... If you know, you know, bruh.
Be the very first member of the Sandler Dream Team. Tim
this nigga JJ is ugly as if I was a girl and see him I would be scared for my life, run away, call 911 and be traumatized forever. Don't take it too serious.
Nigga just said I scare away local woman and then said don't take it too serious. Ezra, you're literally built like this, alright? Where that picture at? This is literally you, Ezra. This is you. This is you. Walking into your high school, scaring away all the girls. Like, this is literally you. You're saying that, and this is you. You're built like that. What do you mean is that my dad? What do you mean by that?
He would go on to write Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, The Wedding Singer, The Waterboy, Mr. Deeds, Bedtime Stories, Pixels, Hubie Halloween, as well as working on multiple other Adam Sandler productions. Tim has also made his fair share of on-screen cameos, like the fireman in Mr. Deeds, or the bouncing kangaroo in Big Daddy.
Okay. I didn't say he was ugly. I just said he was built like that and he's scaring away the hoes.
Every single creation that Tim has acted or produced in his entire career was for Sandler, which makes sense because he never intended on being in Hollywood.
This is my dad.
Tim Herlihy.
My dad's messy. Bro, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. We look this, like, we have, like, similar features and shit, bro. Like, we have similar features, bro. Just look at it side by side, bro. Like, what's the face he's making? Like, Oh, wait. Like, bro, we look the same, bruh. LeBron jeans beat Messi then? Type shit. Yeah, my mom got strong jeans. Time out somebody else? Damn. Go ahead and time him out. However long you see fit.
He was actually an accountant, pursuing a law degree,
So
and was never
Barcelona
considered
times?
by his friends
Type
and
shit.
family to be funny, but he was enamored by Adam's charisma. Tim said he was extremely outgoing, his mouth going a mile a minute, and funny and all over the place. It was kind of a sight to behold. As a fun hobby, Tim began writing jokes for Adam's stand-up comedy in their Brittany Hall dorm room. Adam would
Adam was a stand-up comic at one point.
practice his one-liners to
Was he
strangers
good?
in front of the coffee shop below his living quarters. As he got more confidence, he started hustling at comedy clubs, Pips, and Catch a Rising Star. But Adam and Tim were not funny enough to consistently get laughs from the comedy club
Oh,
crowd,
damn,
so
never
they
mind.
decided to recruit another member to the Sandler squad to help write more material. Adam
Is he
became
timed out?
intrigued by a young man called Frank Karachi who lived down the hall. Adam said at NYU he always frosted his hair. He had a mohawk. Girls loved him. He went to Dance Terria a lot. He went to a lot of cool clubs. He was the lord of the
Let me see.
80s. Frank aspired to write and direct films. He made short films in college and often had Adam star in
No,
them.
he's not
He was
timed
the
out.
first person to direct Adam Sandler
You gotta click
on
his
a
name
video
and then click the
production.
timeout thing
Frank
next
would
to
go
it.
on to direct The Wedding Singer, The Waterboy, Click, Zookeeper, Here Comes the Boom, Blended,
Or you
and
could
The
do
Ridiculous
/
Six.
timeout
In fact,
for however
the
many
only
seconds.
movies Frank Karachi directed for the first 20 years were Sandler's projects. Frank recently stopped working with Sandler and just released his most critically acclaimed film of his entire career.
Oh, shit, I forgot.
Perhaps
My
instead
posture.
of
My
goofy
fault, my fault.
comedies, biographical
Oh my-
documentaries
whoa,
were
what is that?
always his calling.
Last weekend was. Hold on, we gotta go down a little bit of a record. Hold on. Wait, who is this? 2022? Oh, this is from a while ago.
And maybe working with Sandler was holding him back. Then again, if Sandler didn't consistently hire Frank to be his director, he might not have had a career to begin with. Plus, Adam and the gang loved to portray wacky side characters. And where would we be without Frank's portrayal of Bobby Boucher's
Dog gonna have
dad,
two
Roberto?
accounts.
Bobby, it's me, your daddy, Roberto.
Daddy?
You know, I seen you on the ESPN when they was talking about you being drafted by the NFL.
Adam's routine in 1985
Just
would
time
be
out both
going
of
to a
his
comedy
accounts.
club on Monday, absolutely bomb.
I ain't
come
gonna lie,
back
Ezra,
to
that
the
was the
dorms
funniest
and
thing you
revise
did.
his material with Tim and Frank. And
Ezra
by
learning how to
Friday,
be
had
funny,
figured
bro.
out a way to make it better. His
Ezra, I'm proud of you. You learned how to be funny.
comedic persona
Should I
was
do the
the
SAT writing
everyman
again,
who
or should I
makes
take a brief
relatable
message to
jokes
prep?
enhanced with
How long you been doing it for?
silly voices.
I can talk about wet dreams. You know, I'm young. Wet dreams kind of ruined my whole life, you know? There's only so many times you can tell your mother you lost your underwear.
Every NYC comic in the 80s knew to get
Oh, yeah.
recognized you had to perform at the comic strip. Comedy legends such as Larry David, Jerry Seinfeld, and Robin Williams were a few of
Goats.
the many that laid their comedic foundations here.
Yeah.
Adam was able to land himself an audition and immediately impress the booking agent, Lucien Hold. He was only 19 years old and I signed him up immediately. He had all clean stuff, very quirky, very cute. I thought,
Well,
this
did
guy
I
is
learn it
really
from the
good.
best type
It's
shit?
interesting that Lucien described Sandler with quirky
You talking
and
about someone
cute
for,
instead
about
of
seconds?
funny. It's
Technically,
evident
yeah.
that Adam had star power, or it factor. And sometimes it factor
Can you
is
untime somebody out?
unexplainable. You either have it
'Cause I mean, like, I guess after a certain point, like, it does kind of get a little. Can you untime someone out on Twitch? Untime out, replacing user with action. Oh, okay. All right. As long as you do that, I mean.
or you don't.
Fuck
You'll
it.
notice this becomes a trend in Adam's career. All of his friends talk about how they had a gut feeling about Adam. It wasn't
Since November
necessarily
last
that
year?
he was the funniest.
I'll take a
they
break
just
then.
knew he could be
Me
a star.
personally.
But Adam thought he sucked.
I don't think I'm not as sharp as some of the other guys that we grew up with. Like, and I wasn't as prepared when things went off.
In other words, you didn't memorize your stuff?
I
You didn't
tried to,
hone
but
it?
I
Yeah.
would choke.
Oh,
I
there
would
was a
choke.
video on Howard Stern, bro. There was a video on this. We gotta watch that at some point. I forgot about that video. I ain't too familiar
would
with his
choke
work.
Memorizing
Maybe
my
I am,
jokes,
but
and
I
would
just
panic and I would see
couldn't put, like, a
stars and
name to a
stuff,
face,
and
you know
I
what I
was
mean?
Gulping.
Okay.
Sandler admits
Let's lock
he
in,
wasn't
let's
the
lock in,
best at
let's lock in.
stand-up, but he knew it was necessary for him to learn if he wanted
get
to
my
have a
posture
career
right.
in comedy, film, and television.
Like, I wouldn't take a
Luckily,
long
he
break
would
if,
meet
like,
a new funny
that's what
friend,
you like to
one
do,
who actually
but
had
at least a little bit of a
interest in
break. I mean,
pursuing
shit, you've been
comedy
doing it for a
career.
while now.
Alan Covert sat next to him
Why
in
can't
a
we time
history
out
of
what the
comedy class at
wait.
NYU where they bonded over
What would you tie me out for? What did I do? Give me 2 good reasons.
their love for the film Caddyshack. Adam invited Alan back to the Brittany Hall dorms and locked him in. Clear from the very beginning that Alan was always going to play the support role for Adam, whether it was on stage or on the screen. He created some extremely memorable characters like 10-Second Tom from 50 First Dates, as well as the frowsy Caddy in Happy Gilmore.
All right, give me a club. I'll get it.
But Covert always felt like he had to prove himself.
Because back then, I was still like fighting. Like, they had to go like, no, Covert's funny. Like, look, I had to grow that beard just to be a Happy
the
Gilmore.
crazy mullet.
I was like, no, it'll be good. I'm the guy. I don't have to talk. It's like, it'll be funny and look weird.
And when Alan finally got his opportunity to be the main character in a Sandler film, he crushed it. Grandma's Boy, produced by Happy Madison Productions, was about a 35-year-old stoner and video game tester who gets evicted and has to move in with his grandma and her 2 old lady roommates. The irreverent comedy only secured $6 million.
You think being a 35-year-old video game tester would be good?
In the box office, but was able to make over $30 million in DVD sales.
Like, imagine like how you are right now, right? Whatever age you are right now. Imagine you being like 35, like forwarded into the future, 20 whatever, 2030, 20 whatever. And you're like, you're just sitting there like, dang, bro, like, yo, Ezra is just putting everybody in a pack. Oh my gosh. Jesus.
The numbers seem small, but they 6 times their investment. Plus, the Sandler fandom loved this film just as much as other classics. This seems like an obvious sign that Covert had potential to be a strong lead, but he only got one other lead role after this.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that.
Strange Wilderness. After that, he continued to take a backseat and play supporting roles, like in Grown Ups 2, Bedtime Stories, Just Go With It. You could even argue his roles became less significant over the years. But why? Maybe he didn't want to be a star. Maybe he just liked supporting his buddy. Or maybe there just wasn't enough room for Adam to shine while Alan was on screen. Considering he has producer credits on nearly every Sandler film he has acted in, maybe behind the scenes is where the team agreed he should be. Plus, he has a $12 million net worth, so whatever Adam says, eh? But Adam's grind and dedication to be great must not be understated. After securing his spot as a paid regular at the comic strip, he would still stand in the New York City subways performing covers of Beatles songs hoping to get tips from travelers. He got so confident with the guitar that he added it to his stand-up.
I gotta learn how to play guitar, child. I wanna do that, bro. I wanna like get like a guitar and then go to like New York, LA, you know, one of them busy cities, and then just like play songs and shit. Don't even say nothing, bro, and just like have like a little tip hat or some shit like that.
Routine. In 1993, he signed a record deal with Warner
Brothers. And then all the money that I get, I'm gonna just gift it in subs.
His debut comedy album, They're All Gonna Laugh at You, is actually
I'm lying about that last part on some Airac shit.
2 times platinum and was nominated for a Grammy. He even performed with a full band on his 1996 comedy tour, and has done countless singing performances throughout his career, with the most notable one being a song dedicated to his late friend Chris Farley.
You know I'm talking about my friend Chris Farley.
It was also during Adam's time at the comic strip that he met Chris Rock. Rock was fresh off his first Hollywood film and just getting established in the NYC comedy scene when Sandler arrived. Chris saw Adam's act and thought he was hilarious.
And I'm watching him, and he does this joke about Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain once scored 100 points in a game. And Sandler does this joke. He goes, here's my impression.
He said you cannot type anything for 5 seconds.
Coach of the other team.
For 5 minutes.
Who's got Wilt?
True.
But Chris didn't become a part of Adam's team because he was a star in his own right, with way too much potential to help someone else. As they developed their acts together,
you might be getting too much power.
From the club's owner, Richie Tienken. Richie introduced Adam to a talent manager named Barry Moss, who in 1987 was casting for The Cosby Show. Keep in mind, The Cosby Show was the highest viewed sitcom on television for 5 years straight.
Cosby Show was on a run, bro. That shit was crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, The Cosby Show was putting other TV shows and other sitcoms around that time in the like 80s and 90s to sleep, bro. And then he was, Bill had, you know what he did.
Averaging around 38 million views per episode.
Pretty sure he'll be able to time me out.
And landed a small role as Smitty in just 4
episodes. As a chatter. Wait, hold on. Let me type something real quick.
He secured a consistent spot telling jokes on Remote Control, which was MTV's very first original non-musical program.
I went to New York last week and I had a great time. Real good time. I had one of these tour guides who really thought he knew everything.
but he didn't know how to fly when I threw him off the Empire State Building. Ah!
Remote Control also hosted college tours around the country where Adam was invited to perform stand-up. He was becoming somewhat of a micro-celebrity, occasionally being recognized on the streets of New York City. Adam's resume was getting strong. He had
John, where y'all think the place I'm gonna get recognized at, like, first? Like, the most? Where I, like, a place where I can't even go outside.
a little bit of money saved up and got a taste of Hollywood, so he decided to move to Los Angeles to get that much closer to making it on the big screen. And on the West Coast, there was another small crew of comedians who were about to join the Sandler hype train. Rob Schneider was a few years older than Adam and had already been making noise in the comedy world. He just recently did a performance on David Letterman's Tonight Show, which was basically an early sign that you made it in the 80s. Schneider knew Adam was a buzzing comic, and even saw him and Chris Rock on the cover of a small comedy magazine called Comedy USA. So Rob was shocked one evening when he was
that's so crazy, like having like newspapers and stuff as your main form of communication, bro. That's wild.
Performing a small
Jesus
LA show
Christ,
to see
Michael
Adam
just
Sandler
got in
take
the chat and just got packed up.
First show out
oh, he had ads anyways.
Two people really laughing hard was me and him.
Really?
He was laughing at himself and I was laughing, and I took him out for a beer afterwards and I said, "Oh man, you're gonna be huge."
Yet again, Adam was not dominating the crowd, but for some reason, another comic was immediately convinced he would be a star. Rob took him out for a beer after his set, and from there he became a part of the Sandler network. Rob helping Adam would not be a waste, as he would create some of the most memorable side characters in the Sandlerverse, such as Ula in 50 First Dates, the Minister in I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, and of course, the Townie in The Waterboy.
You can do it! Cut his head off!
However, critics didn't think Schneider was all that special. Schneider received a nomination at the Golden Raspberry Awards for the Worst Supporting Actor for his role as the delivery guy in Adam's most successful 90s movie,
by the way.
Big Daddy.
I'm the bad guy.
Was Sonny a good father to Julian? Oh, yes. They make a terrific pair. They went together like lamb and tuna fish.
Lamb and tuna fish?
Maybe like spaghetti and meatball?
Sandler was the winner of the Worst Actor Raspberry Award for this film, and would go on to win 9 more Golden Raspberries throughout his career. He basically gets nominated for Worst Actor every time he releases a movie.
When the critics started hating me, I just felt bad for my family. I felt bad for the people who worked hard on the movies, you know, because I mean, I had so many great actors in the movies, and when we would get done shooting it, they would say to me, "I think the critics are going to like this one," and I'd be like, "Oh, no." No, they're going to say bad things, and they're probably going to say bad things about you being in it.
But Big Daddy was a $235 million blockbuster hit, and Adam believed in Rob, and he was learning to ignore the critics.
JJPLS, listen to Blanco his new banger after this video.
I don't think I've seen this. Oh wait, what? Who that little jit? Oh yeah, I ain't never seen this before. Oh, Sandler. That's Dylan. Wait. Oh, it is. What? I did not know the Sprouse Twins were in here. That's crazy. They got looped up in the Adam Sandler verse too? That's crazy.
They immediately bounced back with Rob as the lead in Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, which earned around $92 million in the box office. But this would be the most profitable film with Rob as a lead. One by one, every film with Rob as a lead would bring a smaller return on investment. The Animal, Hot Chick, Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo, Benchwarmers. They kept the fandom satisfied, but none of them exploded in performance, leading Happy Madison, Adam's production company, to stop writing movies with Rob as the lead. Rob still believed in his capability of being a main character, but the 2 movies he released outside of Happy Madison's productions were utter failures, which kind of proves that without Sandler's team, he couldn't be successful. So he went back to playing support roles, which was fine until he wasn't invited to be in Grown Ups 2, Sandler's second most successful film to date. They're doing Grown Ups 2 without me. Mistake. They should have paid me a lot of money. Well, truthfully, I wasn't sure if I'd have my TV series, so it was an availability thing. But at the end of the day, they should have said, what money does Rob need? Rob was given 5 lead roles by Sandler and dozens of support roles over the years. Despite critics relentlessly trashing his work, Sandler still gave him as much opportunity.
He's not bad, bro. Rob's not bad.
Opportunity as he
like
could.
him.
The moment Adam didn't bend over backwards for Schneider, he got angry and went to the media. This animosity led to Schneider not working with Sandler for years. They eventually mended their relationship in 2015 because Rob understood without Happy Madison, he wasn't finding success. Luckily, Sandler doesn't hold grudges because he never forgot how many favors Rob did for him early on in his career.
Every
type shit.
One in this
Hey,
room
that's a real nigga, bro.
tonight
Adam
has
Sandler, a real
made
nigga.
my life fun. People always would ask me, those bad reviews you get, how does that make you feel? Make you feel like shit? And I'd say, nah, it really doesn't. I think the reason I get to say that didn't hurt me is because so many of you guys in this room made me feel great about what we've done together. And all my fellow comedians, actors, writers, collaborators, crew members, people on the streets, my family, my kids, my forever girl, Jackie, all make me feel like the critics didn't know what the hell they were talking about. So thank you for all that.
A lot of the time
Schneider
they don't,
got
bro.
Adam in at the Improv in the late 80s, which was the hot club for upcoming comedians in LA. At the Improv, Adam befriended comedian Judd
Houston, can you
Apatow.
type
They
that
even got
again,
an apartment
please?
together.
Adam's the next Eddie Murphy. You just knew it even when he was bombing. It wasn't like he was killing on stage and you thought that as a result of the success
welcome back, Myro.
of his performances.
Right.
We
Yeah,
found
Miles are on a little
the
power trip right now.
crowds was hit and miss. But there was a certain charisma, which is the charisma which led to everything that happened that you felt when he was in his early 20s. If anything, hotter because he had so much energy as a friend to make you laugh because he wasn't making movies. So all that energy that he's put into his career in the early days was just used on you at dinner.
What you are starting to see is how valuable it is to keep people around you that believe in you. Adam has now developed a network of comics and writers who all uplifted him and knew he was hilarious despite crowds of comedy fans not seeing the magic. Ironically, Judd only worked with Sandler once in his career. He would go on to produce tons of movies that you probably think are way funnier than any of Sandler's films. Judd produced Anchorman, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, Superbad, Step Brothers, Pineapple Express, Bridesmaids, and many other comedy classics. Maybe Judd had a higher standard for comedy and didn't like Sandler's vision for films, or maybe he was just focused on creating his own legacy. But while Sandler and Judd were living in that LA
he made some
apartment
bangers,
together,
Brian, ain't
Adam's
gonna
buddy
lie.
from NYU, Jack Giaraputo, crashed on their couch for 3 months after realizing he hated law school. Jack would go on to form Happy Madison Productions with Sandler and produce every single film Adam has ever created up until 2015 when he finally retired. But the other leader of the Sandlerverse entered Adam's life during his time at the Improv in the late 80s, David Spade. Spade was impressed with the same material that made Chris Rock a fan.
I'm gonna tell you one, and you tell me if this is.
I'm about to
how
say
it
David
goes.
Spade. I see him and I think
He
of Adam
said,
Sandler, bro.
we go,
Facts.
Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in one game, which is true. Right. And he goes, here's my impression of his team in the timeout in the huddle. Hey, Wilt, I'm open, dude. And then you go, here's the coach on the other team during the huddle. Who's covering Wilt? Stay on him. I believe he's hot.
That was that.
I believe he's hot.
I believe he's hot. I know. I used to get so excited to say that joke because it was one of the few that worked.
It's interesting how a simple joke made some of the most promising comedians fully invested in Sandler. Aside from SNL, Dave's breakout role was alongside Chris Farley in the comedy classic Tommy Boy, which is actually rated higher than any of Sandler's comedy films. They released another buddy comedy, Black Sheep, the following year. Spade bounced around from movies to TVs to animated films in the late 90s.
I'm convinced that Ezra
and
can't be
didn't
wrong.
end up formally working with Adam until 2001, where he was casted as the lead role in Joe Dirt, another Sandlerverse cult classic. Throughout his career, Spade didn't want to ride the
Joe Dirt
coattails
is
of
tough.
Adam. Around 2006, he started working with him more closely, taking support roles in Grandma's Boy, The Benchwarmers, and of course, Grown Ups, where the whole squad came together. But he has a wide resume of sitcom roles, the most notable being on Just Shoot Me and Rules of Engagement, both highly rated series. He also voiced various animated characters over the years, but the most popular was Kuzco in Emperor's New Groove.
He voiced Kuzco?
He also voiced the video game character Sparks, who was Spyro's dragonfly friend. He even did various commercials and hosted award shows. Clearly, David Spade is the one one man we all agree definitely would have been successful even if he wasn't Adam Sandler's friend. In
Right.
fact, it's actually Adam who was lucky to be David Spade and Rob Schneider's friend, because they're the reason he got on Saturday Night Live in 1990. Comedian Dennis Miller was the anchor of SNL's Weekend Update segment. Weekend Update was their highest viewed program, and at the time, hosting it was an extremely coveted position in the comedy world.
Right.
Miller scouted Spade and Schneider at the Improv and invited them to audition for SNL. They secured their spot as writers at the end of season 15 in 1990. Then Chris Rock and Chris Farley were added to the SNL team in season 16. With 3 of Sandler's comedy buddies advancing their careers in New York, Adam got a different opportunity to be the star in his very first film,
Christ.
Going Overboard.
No.
Going Overboard was about a bartender on a cruise ship who dreams of becoming a comedian. The movie never hit theaters and is considered by many to be the least funny film ever made. Luckily, his career would be saved when Schneider, Spade, and Rock convinced the SNL
Mods, don't
casting
touch
director
Elio,
to
bruh.
give
Chill.
Sandler a
Chill on
shot.
Elio.
He moved back to New York City and was
Don't
added to
touch
the
him,
writing team
or
in
I'ma touch
December
you.
of 1990. Sandler shared a tiny office with Chris Rock, Chris Farley, and David Spade. The crew felt like they finally made it, but Schneider was the one standing out.
He was the first giant on our show.
It was been a good time.
Yeah.
Dennis Miller used to walk around going,
Hey?
the Schneidman hit? And he'd kind of throw it in all our faces, but like,
One of you guys
What
got
are
to
you
come
guys-
up with something.
yeah, Schneidman, that's all I hear about.
The guys would write jokes specifically designed for them, as they often relied on physical comedy, with Farley being the overweight maniac and Adam portraying goofy characters with silly accents. It didn't hit the same when anyone besides Sandler, Farley, or Spade delivered the jokes.
Why, yes!
Landing a job on SNL is basically the best comedy cosign you can receive in the industry, so it becomes much easier to get
Makes
business
sense.
opportunities. Adam was landing movie roles left and right.
I
He
don't
played
really be on
Dink in the
SNL like
film
that.
Shakes the Clown, Carmine in Coneheads, then landed a primary role as Pip in
Andy,
Airheads. He met
so
Steve
speak
Buscemi
now,
on the set of
whatever.
Airheads and will go
Yeah,
on to
I
cast
feel like
Steve
now,
in over
like-
10 films.
Like,
So-
I've tried to watch SNL recently. I guess I gotta go back and watch some of the older stuff because some of that newer stuff is just like, like people will be like, oh yeah, there's an SNL skit where they do this, and like people always referencing SNL skits, and I'm just like, bro, I've never that's never been a part of my like daily routine to like watch like SNL. Like, I never watched that shit growing up.
Some of the fan favorite characters were the homeless man in Big Daddy
when
or
do you
Crazy
make the
Eyes in
decisions?
Mr. Deeds.
Crazy eye.
London is falling. That's not true.
Hey, hey.
How you doing, pal? I got your pizza for you just the way you like it.
Oh, yes. French fries and Oreos. You know me all too well, dude.
But there was one man that Adam Sandler used as a goat.
You know me.
Y'all trying this pizza right here? That's an insane name, but appreciate the follow, bruh. Appreciate the follow, Black Ass Kid 2012. Like Chris Farley's kids type shit. Thought JJ father was messy. That's what I'm saying. Killer Mike or Miles?
Me all too
Killer
well,
Mike.
dude.
But there was one man
Y'all
that
eating
Adam
that pizza, though?
Sandler
With
used
the
as
french
a
fries and
go-to
Oreos on it?
support role that ended up causing some major controversy. Peter Dante met Adam in 1992 while playing a game of one-on-one basketball at Gary Shandling's house. The two hit it off immediately. Peter would go on to have almost the exact same career path as Alan Covert, playing supporting roles and wacky side characters in various Happy Madison productions. He was the quarterback in The Waterboy.
Watch where you're going, needle dick.
The burnt-out friend in
Then just
Mr.
get
Deeds.
type shit.
He even
Alright.
got to co-star with Alan in Grandma's Boy. It seemed like
I thought he was, bro. I at first thought he was talking about the monkey, bro. I was like,
Dante was a go-to side character for Sandler all the way up until Grown Up.
bro, Salma Hayek, bro. Oh my god, bro. Ain't she like 60 now? Bro, she's bad as fuck, bro. Oh my god. Oh shit. She's 57? Crazy, bro. Crazy. I don't even think she can have kids no more. I'm shooting that club up.
2. During the filming of Grown Ups 2, Adam made Peter live within a mile of him so they could play basketball every day, which was often 3 times per day. But one major mistake would end their friendship forever. In 2013, just after Grown Ups 2 released, Dante was checking into the JW Marriott Hotel in Santa Monica. According to the police report, the actor grew upset because he wanted a new room key and was not happy that staffers didn't recognize him as an actor. He then proceeded to call the black staff member the N-word as well as the F-slur.
Bro had a massive ego. Oh my
as well as
gosh.
lashing out at a Mexican valet worker saying, "Do you know where you are? We don't need you." Someone from TMZ saw Dante strolling the streets days later and asked him about his belligerent antics.
At least according to this guy. He's gonna list all of his black friends for us.
I know what you've done as a T.I.'s gonna home.
Said Nelly. T.I.
Ask Marcus Camby about me.
After doubling down on his racist remarks, he never worked in another Adam Sandler film ever again. For the past 10 years, Dante has been living the high life.
Bro, why is his body built like that?
Seemingly strung out on drugs and alcohol as the lead singer of a failing reggae band performing dive bars in Southern California. His real life today is the exact persona depicted in his most popular film, Grandma's Boy. But Adam's comedic persona that he created on SNL in the 90s laid the foundation for his film career.
Hey, Canteen Boy, can I help you with something?
Not right now, Mr. McGrath. Just get myself situated.
Oh, well, you know, I wouldn't want to rush you, Canteen Boy, because you're one crazy, wild man.
Whatever. Hello. Let me water your plants. Please, while you're gone, let me water your plants. Go as Smiley Boy.
Bro, why's he smiling like that?
Look at me. I got a big smile on my face. Now give me some candy. Turkey, turkey, dee. Turkey, turkey, dap. I eat the turkey and I take a nap.
Adam met Tim Meadows in 1993, who would go on to feature in a handful of Happy Madison productions.
Selma.
By 93 and 94, Adam was now a permanent on-screen talent on SNL and even recruited his first Sandler Squad member, Tim Herlihy, to write for the show. But some people, like Bill Murray, hated Adam's
black
SNL.
friends. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not racist. I have black friends. I'm not racist. My sister's cousin's boyfriend's friend at school's uncle is black.
Material. Bill Murray was an SNL veteran, returning in 1993 to host, and wasn't very happy with the material he was seeing.
Yo, Bill Murray gonna get a nice Bill Murray? You're gonna get the tough Bill Murray.
Yeah.
You know? He's super nice to fans. He wasn't very nice to us.
Interesting.
He hated us on Saturday Night Live when he hosted.
He did.
Wow. Absolutely hated us, seething.
Saturday Night Live Season 20, which was the last season dominated by the Sandler crew, is up for debate as the worst season in the show's history. Because of the low ratings, NBC threatened to fire Lorne Michaels, who created and produced SNL since 1975. Sandler thought he was crushing it. I mean, him and his buddies thought the show was funny, but nobody else did, and it reflected in the viewership. SNL needed a fresh reset, so they fired Adam, Farley, Schneider, and Spade the following year.
Yeah, I was fired. I was fired. NBC said that I was done. Then I made over $4 billion at the box office. So I guess you could say I won.
Billy Madison released 2 months before Adam was fired from SNL. This was his first movie released through his own production company and secured
Billy Madison, one of them ones.
a $16 million profit
That's
at the
a banger
box
right
office.
there.
Not only that, but the film became a cult classic, a part of American comedy culture. Getting fired from SNL was the best thing to ever happen to Adam Sandler. It was now 1995, he had momentum after a banger film, and had a network of more than a dozen comedians, writers, and actors who believed in his vision.
Was there a pivot point in your career where you just knew, this is it, it's go time?
That's a good one, Nicky. Billy Madison is when we started going, come on, just all my buddies, we all got together and we're like, let's do what we think is funny.
Yeah.
And then we didn't stop doing it together, and we made a bunch of movies together.
From there, his process was very simple. Here's how I think of my
And
scripts,
Billy Madison?
Sandler.
Yeah, I know.
sit in my room,
Yeah.
think
I
up
just
an
thought about
idea,
it. I was like,
and I
wait.
call up all my friends and they say, "That's awesome, you're the best." Although he was kidding here, this isn't really far from the truth. Adam is a true testament of how valuable being a leader is. He is also the product of someone who had friends who deeply cared about him and believed in him when he had nothing. Instead of leaving those people in the dust, he designed his whole career around them, making sure that they were able to stay employed by creating formulaic comedy films with bizarre plots, stupid side characters, screaming, dad jokes, silly songs, then rinse and repeat for 30 years. And yeah, sure, critics hated basically all of his films, but he doesn't have to listen to your criticism because he doesn't operate operate in your standards of quality. He clearly is a much better actor when pursuing serious roles, such as Punch Drunk Love and Uncut Gems, yet he still doesn't care that critics are finally starting to praise his acting. He
Uncut Gems was a good one, bro. That was a good
probably
movie.
is only pursuing this next dramatic role in Spaceman because he knows comedy films are dead these days. Some people think Adam just surrounded himself with yes men, hacky comics who had nothing going for them, so they latched onto their golden ticket in Hollywood. And I'm not gonna lie, his early stand-up and most of the stuff that was on SNL, I probably wouldn't have seen the Adam Sandler hype, but they clearly saw something in him that we didn't, and they were right. He made $4 billion making silly movies with his best friends and family while traveling around the world. It seems like he lived the perfect life.
Facts. That's facts. If anything, that's a lesson to just, like, you know what I'm saying? If you just know and you have that feeling that you are, like, good at something, bro, just do it, bro. If anything, that's, like, the lesson that I got from it, you know? Unlike a typical Tomorrow's Teachings video, this is this one definitely has a good lesson with it. I forgot. Oh my gosh.